Today I'm going to help you decide which Hourglass Holiday 2024 Ambient palette is right for you. I will also do a full face demo with each palette, including the eyes. And after that, we're going to take a look at those three finished looks together side by side. And that's when I'll point out what I liked or didn't like about each of them so that you can make the best, most informed buying decision. I placed my order directly from the Hourglass website, and when you do that, they have the option to select a gift box or a gift bag for an extra $500 for an extra $5. I chose mine in the Lotus Flower design because I think it's my favorite. But anyway, if you're gifting these palettes, adding the gift box or the gift bag makes the gift extra special, and I wanted you to see what it looked like. Each face palette comes with a different mix of bronzer, highlighter, finishing powder, and blushes. They come in different tones and they have different pigmentation levels and different finishes. Let's get started and look at each one of them. First, we have the Dragon palette. This is the lightest of the three, and it was designed for light skin tones. And according to the Hourglass website, it says that the dragon is symbolic of supernatural power, wisdom, and strength. And then we have the Evil Eye palette. This one is aimed for more medium skin tones. And it says the Evil Eye is a universal symbol of protection and intuition. And this is a Lotus Flower palette designed for deep skin tones. What does the Lotus Flower represent? Symbolic of personal growth and resilience. And here are all the swatches of the blushes from all the palettes. At the bottom, we have the Dragon. Notice how they're very soft shades, and we don't see any vibrant punchy pinks yet. Now moving up to the Evil palette, we do start seeing the more vibrant saturated pinks. Pink is at the very bottom. In the middle, that's a warm apricot. And then above that is a coral. We're starting to see richer, more saturated colors. And at the very top, we have the Lotus Flower. Notice how it's, well, obviously richer, it's more pigmented. Seeing the swatches together like this is helpful just to get a better idea of the colors that are included in each palette, but we can't tell what the finishes are just yet. Now let's look at the bronzers. I am thrilled to say that they're neutral. We don't have any orange bronzers. The Dragon one and the middle one, the Evil Eye, they look almost identical. If I had to point out a difference, maybe the Dragon is looking a tiny bit warmer, but once you put them on the face, they look exactly the same. Now the darkest bronzer, the one in the Lotus Flower, that one does have a reddish undertone. Now let's take a look at the highlighter swatches. They're all intense. They're all metallic. They do vary in tones. For example, the one in the Dragon palette, it's a pale pink champagne, whereas the one in the Evil palette, it's a soft rose gold. Then moving up to the Lotus Flower, we have not one, but two highlighters, and these are rich. They're gonna look beautiful on dark complexions, and you're gonna see how gorgeous they look on the eyes as well. Now onto the powders. Starting with the Dragon palette, we have Dream Light, and Divine Light. I cannot really see a difference there. That's Dream Light and Divine Light. They look almost the same. This one is a little bit lighter, so I would use this one more in the middle of the face and this one for the rest of the face. But it doesn't really matter. On light medium skin tones, they're gonna look the same. It's only on maybe fair skin tones that you might be able to see the difference in tones. Let's put a little separator here. We're moving on to Evil Eye. This one has only one finishing powder as opposed to two, and it is a pale peach. Building it up. That's very similar to the color of my arm here. You can hardly see the powder. It's a really good match on me. And for the Lotus Flower, this is its finishing powder. It's described as a golden amber. Wow. Definitely warm. I can use this one as a bronzer. It's not as neutral as the bronzers that come in the Evil Eye and Hourglass. Now let's do a full face demo of each palette. I've been waiting for this. I'm super excited. Let's get started with the Dragon palette, the lightest out of all three. And I'm gonna start with the finishing powder actually, because I want you to see the glow that these powders give us. That glow is what separates the Hourglass powders from other powders. So even though this is a finishing powder, it's not a highlighter, but you see how it's giving me that pearlescence. This is with and without. How you're supposed to use the finishing powder is to put it all over the face, use it to buff all of the rest of the powders together, and it gives you this really beautiful veil. It's almost like a filter of a super flattering glow. Okay, let's get started with the bronzer. One thing I want to see is that these bronzers are not warm, and I don't think they will be. Here we go. Ooh, beautiful, and it shows up very quickly on my skin tone. I'm a light medium for reference. So if you're around my skin tone, the bronzer from the lightest palette is going to show on your skin. I'm just gonna go and do a little bit more. The shade is called Soft Bronze, and it's described as a matte, natural bronze. It's matte, it doesn't look powdery. Absolutely love the tone. I'm using a Sigma F40 brush. Now, looking at my forehead, I am seeing just a little bit of red, and I think that's what makes it look so natural. Let's move on to the blushes. All shades except for the finishing powder are new, so I'm very excited. This is Peach Fusion. It's a soft peach pink. Now, what I want to see out of these blushes is variety. I don't want them all to look the same on the cheeks. I'm putting one blush on this cheek and the other one on this one. So far, this one is looking really nice. Notice that it's pretty glowy. There's a bit of a golden pearl. Now, let's try the other blush. This is Mauve Haze. It's a soft plum. And I am loving this one because can you see how blurring it is? There is zero pearlescence. There's no glow to it whatsoever. There is a major difference between both of these because this one has that obvious golden shift to it, and this one is just matte. This is like the perfect tone for a no makeup look, for a light makeup day. Now let's go in with a highlighter. This is Sunlit Strobe Light. Let's see. And it's a pale pink champagne. Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous. What you get is an intense highlight. Let's see how it looks with this matte mauve blush. Wow. But you can build it up. Let's see. Yeah. Oof. Look at that highlight. Wow. Oh man, that's pretty. Okay. Yes. Now I'm taking the other finishing powder. This is Divine Light. And I'm going to use it just to buff everything together. What is it described as? Translucent with a sheer pink sheen. Sheer pink sheen. Just all over. Getting rid of any harsh lines. What I'm seeing now that all of the colors are on my face is that this palette does work for me. This palette is designed for light skin tones. So I thought it was gonna be too light for me, but it's not. I anticipate that I'm gonna like more than one. I want to have a clear favorite by the end of this video, so we'll see. Let's proceed and do the eyes. I'm gonna start with the bronzer on the crease. The bronzer is definitely giving me the structure, the definition that I want on the crease. Now let's go into the blush tones. Let's do Peach Fusion. Now I'm gonna take Mauve Haze and I'll put that on the lid. I did have to dip in 3 times in order to get this color payoff. And I'm thinking that that is perfect because I'm seeing this palette as a go-to for kind of effortless, everyday, minimal makeup looks. And here we have the highlight, gorgeous. I do see that little bit of pink in the highlight, lovely. Okay, time for mascara. Okay. This is freaking beautiful. Look at that. Look at that glow of the highlighter. I'm loving the tones on the cheeks. I do think that they are different enough from one another. We have the peachy one with the gold pearl. We have the matte, the mauve one. On the eyes, I think they both look the same. The bronzer works great on my skin tone. I mean, wow. I wonder if then this is going to be the one for me. It's subtle, it's fresh, it's natural. I am loving it. Even this blush, the one that has the gold in it, the gold pearl, it's not obnoxious. So if you want a little bit more sheen, a little bit more, you know, glow to your blush, you can go for this one. And if you choose to go more matte, zero added glow to it, then the Mauve Haze is a beautiful nude everyday blush. It'll go with everything. And maybe the Evil Eye one, the medium one that I thought was going to be more the one for me, is gonna be a little bit too rich. I don't know. Let's find out. Time for the Evil Eye palette. Let's start with the bronzer. Let's go ahead and dip in. Is this going to be too much? Too dark for me? Let's see. Nope. So far so good. Let's go in again. These bronzers are really so wearable, so natural looking because they are more neutral. If I did not have a YouTube channel and review makeup here, I would only get one palette. And I would want that palette to be able to give me a full face of makeup. And that's really the question that I'm hoping to answer with this video for you is, okay, I'm getting one palette, or even if you're getting more than one, but you're on the fence between A and B, I hope that by the end of this video, you feel more confident in your buying decision. What was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought. I just remembered. What I was trying to say was, look at how many times I'm going in. I am not overdoing it. Okay, so here's the bronzer all done, and I'm looking at the description. Matte medium bronze. It's not giving us any weird like shift or pearl or anything. Okay, now onto the blush. So this is a pink blush. It's described as a cool pink. Oh, okay. Yes, I see it. I see it. And this is one of the marbled shades. Right away, it shows up. That is super pretty. I love it. We just did this blush. We have these two still left. Oasis Glow, it's an apricot. This is the first blush that I'm seeing so far that has visible shimmer. And I wonder how that's gonna translate on the cheeks. Let's hope this is not too glittery because I kind of wish they would have done it without the glitter, because it's such a beautiful, oh, look at that. It's such a beautiful shade for a natural look. I definitely see the peachiness in there. This is more of a warm blush. This is quite glowy. I'll build it up some more. Now that's a shimmering cheek. Let's do Vibrant Coral. I lost this bit of footage of me applying the vibrant coral, so I re-recorded it just now. As you can see, it's not super intense. You can you can go in pretty lightly and then build it up. So even though it says this is a coral, it looks pretty pink. Here it is in the car. And on the other cheek, I have the other pink blush, Pink Fusion. So those two pink blushes, I have one on each cheek. I also re-recorded me applying the highlighter. So here goes a highlighter on top of the blush. It looks the same as the Dragon one did. So pretty highlighters, they can get intense and they both look very similar, the light and the medium palettes. And what I love is that we're still getting two different looks. Look at this half of the face, warm, kind of a nude blush. And then you look at this one, much more pigmented, vibrant, and the pink, right? All right, let's see how this looks on the eyes. Bronzer. Then I'm gonna take Oasis Glow and put it on the side where we have Oasis Glow on the cheeks. It doesn't look like too much, but it still has that extra something special that's coming from that shimmer in the blush. I can't wait to see this look in various lighting because I think it's gonna look stunning. Let's do Pink Fusion, the cool pink. I'm just gonna put it here on the lid. Do I ever put this sort of pink on my eyelids? No, but I am open what this might look like. And yeah, so you're getting vibrant pink eye. So vibrant pink eye. Don't love that. Actually I'm not loving this pink. Highlighter here in the inner corner. Yeah, very nice. I mean, it looks very similar to what our inner corner looked like with the Dragon palette. It's just, you know, a champagne-y highlight. Final step, we're going in with Soft Light. This is a pale peach, and we're gonna use this powder to blur everything together. Now, one thing that I would like to know is, do you like to use these finishing powders before or after your highlighter? And this is a finished look with the Evil Eye palette. So this palette very much works for my skin tone. I was afraid this would happen. Now I don't know which one I like best, this one or the Dragons. At this point, I am very much undecided. All right, let's move on to the Lotus Flower. Or let's start with the bronzer. And this is the deepest palette. I want to see which shades work for me. The bronzer, it is more pigmented than the other, it is darker than the previous two palettes, but I can wear it. So this is what it looks like on this half of the face. Granted, I did not have to build it up as much as I did the previous ones. I'm going in once again. It's almost like it doesn't want to pick up. I've dipped in like 6 times already and it does work for me. I don't love the tone. A little bit muddy, a little bit grayish. This is the only palette that comes with 2 highlighters. So these 2 right here are highlighters, and then we have 2 blushes in the middle, and then we have the finishing powder and the bronzer. I'm gonna wipe off this half of my forehead because I really want to see what the finishing powder looks like. I will put on foundation very roughly, just so that we have the same starting point. So here's the finishing powder on my forehead, and this is called Eternal Light, and it's described as a golden amber. Okay, yes, now the difference is more obvious. It's more red. Yeah, definitely it's more warm. Not so much orange, but red. Could I still use it as a bronzer? Yeah. Okay, I am excited about these blushes. More specifically, this one, Desert Flush. This is a deep beige pink. Now let's see how pigmented this is and if I can wear it. Okay, definitely more color payoff there, but it's still, yeah, it's still working. I'm going in very lightly. Ooh, that's actually really pretty. Okay, now we're going for the red one. It's called True Red. Let's see. Okay, yes, the pigment is there right away. Oh, beautiful color. Let's try to blend what we have here. I need to shear this out, and we will determine whether this shade is workable for a light to medium skin tone. Yes, it is shearing out. Bottom line, I can wear it, but do I really want to work so hard at it? The answer is no. These highlighters, warm bronze gold and shimmering copper rose. Very different tones. Here we go. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, that's blinding. Gorgeous. Okay. Oops. Okay, and this time I'm gonna do like one little tapping and one swipe, and we'll see where we're at. Here goes more. Hold on there. Let's build it up. Ooh. I'm liking that rose tone. Look at that. This one in a low lit setting, restaurant. Ooh, the way that this cheek would catch the light. Okay, now let's put it on the eyes. Let's put it on the eyes. It's gonna be. So again, for the crease, we're gonna do the bronzer, but I'm gonna do the bronzer. I like this warmer tone on the crease. Finishing powder, bronzer. I like them both. This blush, Desert Flush, which is the deep beige pink, I'm gonna put it all over the lid. Wearable, lovely, easy, easy. Now, red on the eyelids. That looks unexpectedly nice. Okay, highlighters now. Gilded Strobe Light. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You guys, I still have the ball on my eyelid, as you can probably, ooh. As you can tell, if you watched my video, this is what happens when you don't take off your eye makeup fully at the end of the day. Essentially, your meibomian glands can get clogged. Those are the glands that we have along our lash lines. So with eyeliner and eyeshadow caked on, they can get clogged. A little cyst forms. You can hopefully dissolve it with warm compresses. I tried that like 3 months ago. It brought it down some, but not a lot. Then I stopped because I got lazy. Then I restarted with the warm compresses last night, thinking, oh, maybe a miracle will happen and by tomorrow's video I won't have it. But I'll keep telling you my riveting story in a minute. Let's switch over to the other highlight. Look at this. This highlighter, it looks incredible on the eyes. Here it is. Shimmering Copper Rose. Ooh. Wait, can you see it? There. Sort of. Oh, I thought it was going to be more intense going on the lid, but it's not. Oh, I like it. Look at that. That looks really nice. I'm gonna get the brush that I've been using for other finishing powders, and I am just gonna give it a buff. Anyway, so now I have to go get it surgically removed. They're gonna flip my eyelid, and then with a scalpel, they're gonna make an incision, and they're gonna get a little like spoon thingy and scrape the contents out of it. There's no stitches, obviously, since it's the inside of your eyelid, right? That's what that is, and hopefully we'll see. It should be gone soon. But do you care? You probably don't care. What we care about is figuring out which of these is for you. The full face demos finished side by side. What I do like about all these three palettes is that we get a nude blush in each one. Lotus Flower all the way to the right. I think those shades overwhelm my skin tone, so that is not gonna be one of my finalists. Then the first two, we have Dragon and Evil Eye. A closer look at the Evil Eye, the right side. You see where my eye is pink and my cheek is pink. I think that's a little bit too much saturation for but you can sheer out the colors. So I don't know, we're gonna have to keep looking at this in more detail. So which is your favorite palette? Do you know? Because I don't. I don't know which one is my favorite. We've looked at swatches, we've looked at full face demos. It's time to bust out the charts. We need to look at the data in a different way. Let's look at this guy. Do you want a palette that is best for daily wear or one that is best for special events? In my case, I want a palette that is best for daily wear. I don't really care for it to be good for special events. The Dragon palette, and it says that it's good for buildable wear because it has soft buildable tones with natural finishes. Check, fantastic. And it doesn't have any shimmer or glitter. It's not good for special events because it's suited for subtle looks. So far, the Dragon palette is in the running. Evil Eye palette, it does work for daily wear because it has buildable pigments, perfect for day to night. And it also works for special events because it has a polished, soft glam for understated elegance. And it does have that reflective, sparkly blush. The Evil Eye is also good for my preference so far. Then we move on to the Lotus Flower palette, and this is when the Lotus Flower is gonna go bye-bye because its bold pigments may be too intense for every day. Since I want something soft that works for natural looks, sadly, the Lotus Flower palette will be disqualified. So now I'm between the Dragon and the Evil Eye. What else can we look at in order to whittle this down to one favorite? If you use the finishing powders a lot, you might want to go for the Dragon palette because it has two finishing powders as opposed to only one in the Evil Eye. That right there could be the deciding factor for you. I don't need two finishing powders. I am fine with just one. So I'm gonna keep going. What else can I look at? Bronzers. The bronzers are pretty much identical. So I'm not gonna factor that into my decision. I'm fine with the powders they both come with. I am fine with the bronzers they both come with. Let's look at the highlighters. Let me show you. This is what they look like. Dragon, Evil Eye. Extremely similar. Once they're blended on the cheek, these are gonna look pretty much the same. They're both just as intense. This one claims to be more of a pale pink champagne. This one more soft rose gold. I am fine with the highlighters that both palettes come with. So it's gonna be down to the blushes. That's what's gonna determine the winner for me. I want one of the blushes, at least one, to be matte, because I wanna wear it. I want something easy to wear for everyday, subtle, soft, etc., etc. This is exactly what I would want. This one is the Mauve Haze from the Dragon palette. Beautiful, easy, a muted mauve. Excellent shade for what I want in a blush. Now, do we have a matte option here? This is not matte. This is not matte because it's a marbled shade, and marbled shades have a sheen to them. I was hesitant. I thought it wasn't gonna do it for me because it looks very bright, but it's very easy to soften and to sheer up. This is gonna be a little long because if I were to only get one palette, this is the kind of scrutiny that the palettes would go through. I wanna be confident and know which one I would want. Okay, so they have both fulfilled my matte requirements. Now that my matte requirements have been fulfilled, let's look at the nice to haves. It would be nice to have another blush that looks different. Basically, I want blush variety. Let's look at this one right away. It looks very different from the mauve, but I do want to swatch it because I want to confirm its finish. This is the one, I believe it has the peach sheen. This is quite different, the tone to the mauve one. I like that they're both still soft. I don't have to be cautious with either of these shades. They won't give me too much pigment on first swipe. So far, the Dragon is really doing it for me. I will get use out of every single one of these of these shades. The highlighter, I'll probably just reserve it for the eyes. But highlighters are not what I look to Hourglass for. I look to Hourglass for the finishing powders because they give that gorgeous, airbrushed, flawless, seamless looking radiance. Bottom line, I like having this highlighter because it makes this a complete face palette. So now that I've determined that this is perfect for what I want, could this one also be perfect for what I want? And could I just want them both and not be able to decide which is my favorite? Let's take a closer look at the Evil Eye palette. Okay, blushes. It has little bits of shimmer. How subtle is it? Okay, top of the nose. There's sparkle. There's the tiniest bit of sparkle. Yes, okay, I feel like we're getting somewhere. Matte, little tiny bit of sparkle, level 1 sparkle, let's call it. Now this one has level 2, 3, level 4 sparkle. This is what it looks like. Lovely tone for the everyday, but with an extra twist because it does have that sparkle in it. Oh my goodness. I don't know which one to pick. I'm gonna think and I'll be back. I'm back. I still don't know, but I do want to say that if you wanted a palette that is more versatile in terms of taking you from a day look to more of a night look, the Evil Eye is it. This is it, because you have the matte for the day and then you have the subtle sparkle to add an extra something to turn it up for evening, and another sparkly one here, but they're not too much. These two are definitely wearable for like a work dinner, for example. Okay. I know now. It's a tough choice, but if what you want is a palette for daytime, the Dragon palette is gonna be your best bet. Why do I sound so decisive all of a sudden? Because during the day, I'm not gonna wear this shimmer. And the one here, I'd rather not have shimmer for the daytime. However, I don't want shimmer, but I do want that pearlescence, that hourglass glow. And what's gonna give me that glow are the finishing powders. However, the moment you start thinking, I want a palette that can take me into more of an evening, this is the clear winner for us light, medium skin people. Dragon it is. And that is my final word on this matter. I hope that I helped you make a decision. If I did, if you found this helpful at all, remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next time. I'll see you next time.